Assalamu alaikum. This is me, Dr. Saif Ullah, and I welcome you to the new video about financial modeling by using Microsoft Excel. In the last video, we have talked about Microsoft Excel number format, and the link of that video is shown in the upper right corner of your screen as well as placed in the description of this video. These are few introductory videos for the individuals who have little knowledge about Microsoft Excel. We will start financial modeling from lecture number 6, and this is our fifth lecture, and the contents will be relative and absolute referencing style in Microsoft Excel, calculation of percentage, and calculation of percentage increase and decrease. We have four type of references that we can use in Microsoft Excel. The first one is an example of relative reference, and the cell is A1. Here is no dollar sign, it means relative reference. When we copy this formula into another cell, Microsoft Excel will automatically adjust its references and it will change its location. The second one is an example of mixed reference where dollar sign is placed before the column name but there is no dollar sign before the row number. It means that the column will remain the same, a column will be same, but when we copy this formula there can be A1, A2, A3 and so on. The next is again an example of mixed reference where dollar sign is placed before the number, where column number is without any dollar sign but a dollar sign is placed before the row number. Now in this example, first cell number 1 will remain constant, but there can be changed like A1, B1, C1 and D1 and so on. The last is an example of absolute reference that we have already discussed, that where dollar sign is placed before the row number as well as column number, and in this example it will remain the constant. A1 will remain constant, either we'll drag this formula, either we'll copy this formula, but the cell reference A1 will remain the constant. By default, a cell reference is relative reference, which means that the reference is relative to the location of the cell. For example, you refer to cell A2 from cell C2. You are actually referring to a cell that is 2 column to the left, that is C minus A, in the same row. When you copy a formula that contains a relative reference, that reference in the formula will change. For example, we have different products, their quantities and prices are given, and we can find their final amount that will be charged, that is equal to the quantity multiplied by the price, and press enter. And if we want to see the formula that we have used, formula text, and when we drag this formula for the next rows, we will see that Microsoft Excel automatically change the reference of our rows. Here Microsoft Excel is multiplying B3 and C3. In the next row, Microsoft Excel is multiplying B4 and C4, and in the next B5 and C5, and lastly B6 and C6. And here we can see from the formula, this is an example of relative reference. When we copy the formula, the reference of the cell automatically change and adjust to the new location. We normally use relative references. In Microsoft Excel we have some absolute references as well. For example, this is another example where we have sale tax of 7%, the products quantity and prices are given, and there is an additional column that is tax amount and the final amount, and the tax amount will be calculated by equal to quantity multiply by price and multiply by tax rate. And if we drag this formula by clicking here, Microsoft Excel shows some errors, and if we check this error, the Microsoft Excel automatically adjusted our reference to a relative reference and considered the price into the formula, but in our formula there was sale tax. So to adjust this thing, we will read these values, and with the sale tax we will press F4 for one time. When we will press F4, there will be a dollar sign between the column name as well as row number. This will make this reference as an absolute reference, and press enter. And when we will copy this formula, all things will change, but the sale tax reference will remains constant, that is absolute reference, and this can be placed by placing dollar sign between column name as well as row number. Like we see here, B25 C25 is changed, but the reference of the sale tax remains a constant, that is C20. And in the same way, we can calculate the amount equal to quantity into price plus the sale tax amount and calculate the final amount that will be charged in each case. This is an example of an absolute reference. Microsoft Excel has some mixed references as well. Now this is a multiplication table that we want to create. In the first blank cell, we want to multiply 10 into 1, 10 into 2, 10 into 3, 10 into 4 and 10 into 5. And similarly in this row we want 40 multiplied by 1, 40 multiplied by 2, 40 multiplied by 3 and so on. And if we place equal to 10 multiplied by 1 and press enter, that is fine, that 10 into 1, that is 10, and copy this formula, we can see that the things are not correct, that 20 into 20 will be 20, 20 into 30 that will be 30, 40 into 40, 40 into 1 is 40 and 50 into 1 is 50. So we have to adjust this formula. And similarly, if we want 10 multiplied by 1 and drag this formula in row wise, the things are also incorrect, that here answer should be 10 into 5, that is 50, but there is 1200, and there is 10 into 3, that should be 30, and the answer is 60. So we will adjust this formula and provide some mixed references. To complete this table, we will press equal to 10 and press A4 two times, and dollar sign should be before the column name, that is A is absolute and 45 can be changed. Multiply by B44 and press F4 two times. Here B column can change but 44 will remain same. There can be C44, D44, E44 and F44 and so on. Press enter and drag this formula and copy this formula. Like 5 into 5, that is 50 into 5, that is 250, and Microsoft Excel automatically calculated that 5 into 5 is 250, 3 into 30 is 90, and this is correctly computed. So in this way we can use relative references, absolute references as well as mixed references. The next is about calculating the percentage. Sometimes percentage can be frustrating because it is not always easy to remember what we have learned about them in school, but we can calculate easily percentages in Microsoft Excel. For example, the total marks are 90 and obtained marks are given, and we have to calculate the percentage of each mark. So equal to the marks obtained divided by the total number. Press enter and drag this formula. When we drag this formula, there will be again some errors, as Microsoft Excel has a relative reference and we have to convert it into absolute references. So equal to 82, that is B3, divided by total marks, and press F4 with these marks. Enter and convert into percentage form by clicking on the toolbar percentage button and drag this formula. The percentage score of each student will be computed. So in this way we can calculate the percentage of values, and we can also use their absolute references as well. The third topic is about the percentage change, percentage increase or decrease, and we have some share prices and we have to compute their returns, and returns are basically the percentage increase or decrease from the last year share prices. And to calculate this, we can use two different formulas. Return is equal to current price minus previous price divided by previous price, and the other formula is return is equal to current price divided by previous price minus 1. And if we calculate the first formula, it is equal to the second formula, so the answer of both these formulas will same. You can either use first one or second one, but the answer will remain the same. Equal to current price, that is price of December 31st 2021 divided by the previous year price, that is closing of 20, minus 1, and the return will be computed, that is 20%. And if we convert into percentage form, that is 20.23. It means the price in the 2021 is increased by 20.34%, and we can drag this formula. In the last year there is some errors, and this shows that we have no beginning value, there is no previous prices. so we cannot compute the return of the last year. So we will delete this, and this shows that in the 21 the return is increased by 20%. In 20 there was a decrease of 13.89%, there was increase of 6%, 1.96, 0.38% decline, 49% increase, and 61% increase in the share price. So that's all about the today's video. If you have any questions about finance or financial modeling, you can contact us. We will try our best to provide you best answers. Thank you. Take care. Allah Hafiz.